Hi, my name is Joanie Eisinger. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about moving, the art of moving. So you might not have seen me for a while. I haven't done a YouTube in a while. I am in the process of moving, and I sure look forward to when I no longer have a blank background. I'm really hoping that the next location I'm in, I have something a little bit more exciting for y'all to see. But for now, I am in transition. So, you could find me at my website, jonieswhitelighthealing.com. I'm a psychic, a medium, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and if you'd like to have a session with me, contact me through my website. And for those of you who have been trying my landline, they were supposed to say what next contact number people could find me at, but it just says this number is no longer in service. So don't freak out. I'm fine. I'm still alive. So I'm going to talk a little bit about moving, and we've got the physical concept of moving from point A to B, and we also have the metaphor, changing, shifting, transition. So first I'm going to talk a bit about the physical properties of moving. And maybe you can relate, maybe you've done this, some of you haven't done it in a while, for those of you it might be in the not so distant future, or maybe you're encroaching upon that. So whatever the case, here we go. So moving location. Many people find themselves in a home of one sort or another, and they need to pick up their stuff, their belongings, and move elsewhere. So some, it's an easy transition and it's right there. It's ready-made for them. The offer is there, come live with me, or it's a slip slide right in. Regarding the easy moves, the easy transitions, I do not believe there is as much psychological tension that one can find themselves in as compared to that open space of the unknown. But whatever the case, there still might be some threads, some situations where, despite it being an easy transition, you've planted roots where you are, you have the familiarity, you might have to move many miles away, you might have to move out of state, out of country, you might be leaving behind loved ones, a job, whatever the case. The physical move is a spiritual growth opportunity. And in talking about given it to you on a silver platter, here we are, we have point B, and you can get from here to there. Oftentimes there's the emotional piece that one would have to contend with. There might be a financial one as well. Whatever the case, there's spiritual growth opportunity in this. If you find yourself in a situation where you are picking up your roots and you're moving to a ready-made, you can ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is the spiritual opportunity? What are the opportunities that I can learn from uprooting myself and moving to this opportunity that I have that has been given to me? Acceptance of the situation is key. If you fight against it, you're met with resistance, and that blocks you from the more smooth transition, that grace and ease experience of getting to point B. Now, we have the emotional roots piece. Everything is divinely ordered. You have created for you that love of possibly the home, the land, an institutions, workplace, place of worship, family, situations, entertainment venues, towns, and that the emotional piece is to look at in a more esoteric way, in the je ne sais quoi. They say feelings aren't facts, and you are able to work through these feelings when you realize that there is an illusion, that you have not lost anything, they don't go away, you just won't be near that place. That there is always the missing, there is distance, yet the feelings, the sadness never killed anyone, and know that. So work through the emotions as best as you can. It's an inside job. And the acceptance, again, is key. And asking yourself, what can I learn from this, is the win. Now, we also have the situation of moving and not knowing where you will be going. I'm going in a little bit. Joanie's going in. This brings up for many souls the gray area, stress, the not knowing, and any fears around, will I be able to find something? Will I be happy? Can I afford it? How far will I have to go? Will this place support me? Will it be the way it's been in the past with other homes where I've resided? If you have issues regarding fear of the unknown in the gray area, it's time to do your work. It's blessed in that you now have the opportunity to work through these fears. If a person is moving under duress, if they do not want to move but they have to move, we add that to the equation. And if you are resisting the impending move, it's like the fish swimming upstream. Acceptance is key. If there's a legal situation and there might be injustice possibly around it, work through anger, work through sadness, and if you're blaming self and other, I strongly suggest doing the unforgiveness immediately, or not even starting the blaming self and other, because you're incurring negative karma, and that does suck, and you'll find yourself possibly having the universe hit you more. I suggest not going in that direction. Work with what you have and look for the signs. So with some of these examples, and there are many examples of moving, the spiritual piece of moving, of physical from A to B is that this is a natural progression in life, and it is to see that everything is divinely ordered. Whether you wish to move, it is a spiritual growth opportunity, and here you are. Now I'm in a situation I didn't want to move, I have to move, and I'm moving. And that I'm working through a lot of discomfort, fears, and I remind myself, I've moved before, so what makes this any different? And I answer, well, I'm older and I haven't moved in so long, and that I have more belongings with me, so it's a different world, and it costs more. So what makes me any different from anyone else? Other people move and they get from point A to point B, so I can too. So positive self-talk, doing reality testing is fantastic. And in terms of spiritual growth opportunities, I've asked myself, well, what can I learn from this? I can do this. I've got the fortitude, the determination, the strength. I've got the wherewithal, the intellectual capacity to make very good discerning decisions. Very good decisions, and I have good discernment skills, and that this too shall pass, that when I'm at point B, then a lot of the energy and the tension and the bustle will subside and go away. So now let's talk about the metaphor about moving. So let's say with the tarot cards, I don't remember which tarot card it is, but there are cards that talk about moving. And the reader will say, well, you might be moving home, but you also might be transitioning, and you might be shifting. So it isn't necessarily a physical move to a new location. Let's talk about the spiritual, metaphorical move that you might be in. If you are moving home, ask yourself, how am I changing? How am I shifting? What transition opportunities do I have? What type of growth do I have during this time in the process? Moving. To move is to go to a new place, to do something different. It's getting out of the old and going to the new. Are you becoming a butterfly? And this, I believe, is superimposed on the physical move, the physical location move. When we pick ourselves up and we go somewhere else, we are releasing, we are eliminating what doesn't serve us, and we are entering into a new energy, a new fabric, a new location where we could then plant roots again. Do we plant them permanently? Not necessarily, but we do want to ground ourselves to a new location so we don't feel that we're just flotsam and jetsam on top of the land. We need to do something so we feel some sense of security while we are there, no matter how long we will be there. I'm getting, some people ask, I want to move, but I don't know how to do it. So this is for you to ask yourself practical questions. Do I need to ask friends and trusted ones about moving? And is this move, are you moving location because you believe that if you move location, then you will shift as a person? Now, I bring this up, my higher self and guides brought that in. Like I'm on the East Coast, I'm in New Jersey, and I found that when I was in Manhattan for a while, that a lot of people moved to California. And they had issues, and they felt that moving location was going to solve their problems. And I think there could have been up to 10 people that I knew that moved to California, and only one stayed. And they all returned home. Their problems went with them, and they found that picking up their life and moving to another location when they planted themselves down there, they just took it with them. Nothing changed. And they were quite unhappy because their people were on the East Coast. Now, I'm not sure if that is what happens West Coast to East, but definitely I'd heard enough of the New Yorkers that were doing the shift over there to run away from their problems. So ask yourself, are you moving because you're running away, or moving away from you, from your stuff? If there might be a maybe or a yes, you can then ask yourself, is there work that I can do here with myself and other to see whether it can be rectified? Can I get through things? Is there work through that needs to be done where maybe I could fend off physically uplifting myself and moving? Because a lot of times people find themselves in painful situations and they end up somewhere completely different and nothing has changed. And despite their being far from those where they were having issues, they're having internal wars or distant wars with the person back home. So I'm going to see if there's anything more regarding the art of moving. Trust your instincts. Ask the divine ones that you work with for support. I say now, at this time for me where I am right now, I am being supported on the wings of angels, and you can ask for that support as well. They are there for us all. Look for signs. Divine signs are there for you. So I've found that there are miracles that are happening during this very quick transition period, and I'm very heartened. I know that I'm not forsaken, but the signs reinforce that for me. If you find that you're blaming self and other, please stop and forgive yourself and forgive other, because you're blocking yourself from moving to a new situation. I also have been saying this too shall pass. So this frenetic time of uncertainty and going through something for the first time, this is new for me, different from other times I've moved. I remind myself I won't always be in this type of frenetic energy, and that I really very much look forward to being set somewhere else. I think I'm going to leave it right here. And if you have any questions, any comments, please put them down below in the video. I look forward to hearing from you. If you have not subscribed, please do. Press the bell all icon. and you'll receive notifications when I put out my next video. And I support you if you are journeying similarly to me, if you have recently moved and you can relate to this, or if you're considering moving. I hope that this gives you a little bit of ideas about how to cope, how to look at it from a more spiritual point of view. I will see you again. Bye, y'all.